Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Thursday the 9th of February. Here in front of us we have two types of tables. We have the trend traders table and the day traders table. These are showing us the same studies but just highlighting different time frames. The currencies that are highlighted in green show a confluence between the two trading time frames, and that's where we'll be focusing most of our attention in these videos. The tables auto update every 15 minutes 24/7, meaning that our members can see how the markets stand right now in real time. Now remember, the live currency strength indicator tables take all the work out for us. All we need to do is focus on a few pairs. So what is it showing us today? Well, it's showing us that the Swiss franc remains the top of the tables at S1, followed by the US dollar at S2 on both tables, being the second strongest currency. On the weak side of things, we've got Euro as the weakest currency on the day traders table. It is the third weakest currency on the trend traders. The New Zealand dollar is the third weakest currency on the day traders, but the second weakest on the trend traders. So I'm going to be focusing our attention on a couple of currencies pairs today. Euro US dollar is going to be the first one. I'm also actually going to touch upon dollar yen, just because from a technical point of view as well, it's quite interesting market to have a little look at the moment. So we're going to take a look at Euro US dollar first, and then we'll move on to the other pairs of interest. So let's go take a look. And we're on the daily time frame here. You can see chart partner in the top left hand corner here showing us that we're on the daily time frame, and you can see that price has recently broken out of this trend line support. So the trend line support was back from October. It came into touch here as well through January, and recently we've had a really strong breakout to the downside. So basically the currency strength indicator tables are telling us that we should be looking for this downside momentum to continue, and currently price is trading below a key level. You can see this 1.0775 handle, which was a previous low in the market. Price is almost looking like it's coming back to this level at the moment, where we may see continuations down to the next level of support. Now I do have the 1.0600 marked in here as a key level of support, but we may want to look a little bit lower as well, because we do have a low which interacted with a trend line from the higher time frame that could also be targets for sellers. Now the market's at a little bit of support at the moment. If I go into the 8-hour time frame, you can see just looking left, there's a bit of support looking left. It's not major. I think the more important resistance is where price is at now, which is that 1.0775 handle. Now looking at the 8-hour time frame, it looks a little bit more clean at the price action. What I can see from this is that we've had an aggressive move to the downside. We paused in that aggressive move. We then continue to drive lower. Price is now slowly making its way back up. Now that to me is a signal that price is potentially going to continue to the downside here. Okay, so what I'm looking for is actually opportunities around this area now. And one thing that you can look for in the market is for sort of bearish trading patterns to start to form. I like to look for these on lower time frames. So for instance, if I was to go to the hourly time frame, you can see that at the moment price is pretty range bound, and we're actually coming into the highs of the range here, which is something that's quite interesting. Now what I would like to look for here is like I said, a bearish trading pattern, maybe like a double top pattern. So if price was to break down, pull back up, retest the highs, maybe even false break it, that could be an opportunity to the downside. So I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a push down here. Tell me that sellers are getting involved. Maybe another drive to the upside. If we get a rejection in here, then that to me would be a strong suggestion that we could see the market move to the downside. I will now be on this lower time frame on the hourly. You can argue that there's a little bit of a trend line running through there as well, so maybe you'd want to wait if you're a bit more conservative for a break of the trend line and a continuation through here. So something to consider. I like the opportunity where price is at now. It's come into that key level of resistance. I like the opportunity for price to maybe trade lower from this area. I'll be looking for sort of bearish trading patterns. If we're wrong, okay, let's say we're wrong and price trades above into this zone, then I think the next sort of area we have to look for is up at that 1.0925 handle, where you can see all this resistance in here. So that would be the next sort of area of interest if this was to fail in here, this resistance was to fail. But at the moment, price keeps coming up to it. We're kind of rejecting, looking for a bit of a sort of more squeeze, and then a breakdown to the next level of support. So hopefully that made sense. The other market that I quite liked, like I said, was dollar yen. If we just go to dollar yen, it's an interesting market to look at. Although the yen doesn't have any confluence, it is appearing as the second weakest on the day traders table. And you can see here at the moment, price has broken through a bearish channel. Okay, so we have this bearish channel in here. We spoke about the 130 spot 50 and the 131 spot 50 in the past. Price, after it traded outside of the channel, then gapped up, and then we've closed the gap recently. So is this bearish momentum going to continue, or are we going to see a continuation up to the next area of resistance, which is the 134 spot 50? Now the table suggests we should be looking for some upside. So if I go to the lower time frame, again, what is price doing? Well, price has recently tried to find support down at that 130 spot 50 handle. However, you can see here price then traded up to the 131 spot 50 and has rejected. So at the moment, we're kind of trading within that sort of 100 pip range in here. Okay, so I would like to see price trade out of the range, come back, maybe then head to the upside in here. Again, if we're wrong and price then breaks down, we may see price come to the next area of demand, which is the 128 spot 75, which could be another interesting level, considering this is where we've really started to see the buying momentum come into the market. So that would also be an interesting level of support if this first support level in here at the 130 spot 50 fails. So something else to consider in your trading today is dollar yen. But euro dollar one to watch. Quite like where price is at the moment. If we do see some kind of bearish price action forming in here, it could be a nice idea to look for the short. If you are a little bit more conservative, wait for the breakout to the downside here. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video update, and look forward to speaking to you in the next one.